Yo, what's up, guys? This is Why Not Be Reckless, aka Why Not Be Casting, and we have another HCS report where today we're going to be talking about native gaming and them splitting up. Let's talk about it. So, literally on 8 p.m. just last night, Native Gaming announcing that all good things must come to an end. Thank you, Native Red, for all of your hard work, dedication, and most importantly, all the memories. We wish you all nothing but the best in your future endeavors. And I love the fact that they not only included Manny, Soul Snipe, Talix, and Suppressed, and obviously Jam, who were on their current roster, but they also included Druck, who was obviously a part of the long-term tenure that this team has had. I mean, they were probably the longest running team to stay together. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, they were the longest running team to probably stay together. Obviously, Druck eventually had a little bit of visa issues, so they were forced to let him, as he couldn't seem to make it to land, but still, he was such a huge part of this team, so I'm happy that they ultimately included him within this tweet. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, when I first read this tweet, the first thing I thought of was they weren't going to split up. If anything, I thought maybe there was a bigger org that was coming in to possibly buy them out. Like, I feel like this team has been together for so long that, like, I would think of them being bought out by a bigger org before I would think that any of them would split up. I mean, I would say outside of FaZe going into Rosetermania for year 3, I thought if there's any team that was going to make none or little changes whatsoever, it would be this core. And eventually, 7 minutes later, Soul Snipe would tweet out, which, by the way, I actually saw this in completely different order. I actually saw Manny's tweet first. I was out Black Friday shopping with the girlfriend, so I saw this in completely different order. All of this took a shock to me, but eventually, Soul Snipe tweeting out, "News is out. Was an amazing year at Native Gaming. Everything must come to an end eventually. I wish them nothing but the best moving forward. This is also probably a good time to announce that the longtime team I've been a part of would be no longer. I found something new to be a part of this upcoming season that I couldn't be more excited for." A little cryptic, but obviously, announcement coming soon. It sounds like Soul Snipe has found a new team. To everyone that supported us throughout the years, thank you. I'm happy I was able to experience this journey with the exact people that I did. On to season 3, says Soul Snipe about 7 minutes after the announcement that Native Gaming would no longer have the team as a whole. Taulik also tweeting out that he was an unrestricted free agent for the upcoming season. Manny straight tweeted out that he's a free agent and said, I'm not gonna put out a tweet convincing people on how much I want to win. Just gonna let my actions do that." Weirdly, love that from Manny. And then Suppressed tweets out that thanking Dean, Deranged Native, and Brian for everything that they ultimately have done for the team, and then eventually saying, "That being said, I'm ready for this next chapter coming soon, and I couldn't be more excited." And actually, I believe even Druck put out a tweet. Even Druck, a restricted free agent for the upcoming season, restricted by the US government, can play on EU or Canadian org without a visa. Interesting to see. I actually had no idea that he could play with EU or Canadian. And I'm also wondering, like, if he's on a EU or Canadian org, will he start the same problems going on to LAN, or will he just compete online for them, or online and LAN? Not sure exactly what that means for Druck, but still pretty interesting. And to be honest with you, this whole situation is interesting to me because I feel like if there was one team that just kind of was immune to Rosetermania and just belonged together, I honestly thought it would be this Red Squad. We actually saw the slight experiment when Manny went over to United and King Nick came over to this roster, and it just wasn't the same. The moment it felt like the moment Manny came back, it was the moment that things just started to click again. They were back on the ship, and even throughout losing Druck again due to those visa issues, Suppress came in and stepped in and was incredible for the squad. But enough about that. The team is splitting up. There's nothing we can do about it. So I think now's a good time to talk about what we can expect for these players going on to season 3. Now, by the wording, obviously Soul Snipe saying that he's already found something new to be a part of. This sounds like he's found a new team as a player. I don't know, it could be something else, but sounds like a new team as a player. Suppressed also saying, "I'm ready for this next chapter coming soon." I feel like, to me, that means he also has found a team. I feel like if he was still a free agent or or um looking for options, he would have put that out there just like Manny and Talik did, saying that they were free agents. I think him saying that he's not a free agent and the slight wording of this tweet makes me think that he's already found a team, and maybe Suppressed and Soulslime will be together. Again, they also could be separate. On the other hand, Mandy and Talik letting us know immediately that they're free. When going into season 3, no matter what team Snipe is a part of, one thing that I feel like you can that you can expect from Soul Snipe is a player that can pop off any given moment in the Slays column, but also I feel like he's always thinking about the objective and how to move the objective forward. And one of the main reasons why Native Gaming were one of the most objective efficient teams in the league. I think back to Halo 5, where Soul Snipe, it was the same Coliseum strat that they would run against everyone, but there was just nothing you could do about it. You'd have 3 players on well, I guess then going by KCP or Fung 4. 3 of them would push the strong side of the map, being the snipe side on Coliseum. Soul Snipe would go from elbow to elbow via an incredible drop slide, get right over toward the elbow side. And while the 3 players are overloading the snipe side of the map, Soul Snipe would use that chaos and that chaos and noise and slaying that's happening on the map as a distraction to pull the flag and then pull it back to the weak side over towards elbow, even though most ones would go towards the snipe side, and you would get it and do another drop slide and get that flag right back towards your base before you can even react. And a lot of times that would turn into a double pull by, and then KCP or then Funk 4. It was such an incredible strat, and the crazy part is that teams would know that strategy was coming and still couldn't stop it, which is just insane. But that was one of the main things that I thought about with Soul Snipe. But like, again, pop off mentality, but always thinking, how can I creatively move this objective from one side to the other, and while my teammates are just going off in the damage and going off in the Slays department, especially someone like Talik, we're going to talk soon. Soul Snipe was one of the players that improved most since the beginning of season 1. I think season 1 maybe was struggling a little bit in the Slays department. I actually did an interview with him, and he talked about how he wasn't valuing his life as probably as much as he should, and maybe taking some bad habits from Halo 5 over towards Halo. And he said to me, he really wants to work on valuing his life. And I feel like the moment he did, we saw his KD start to skyrocket. We started to see him have some big games, especially in Team Slayers, where the team, where in the past that kind of was a little bit of a struggle for Native Gaming, or again, and KCP. We saw him really fix that part, and so that really helped out Native Gaming Red and pushed them into the right direction. Soul Snipe's definitely going to be a huge asset to the team. Speaking of which, we'll go into Suppressed. If he's with Soul Snipe, I think they pair really well. I've always been a big fan of Suppressed, and a lot of people have given me pushback about it, and I just feel like they're just not looking at the stats. They're just not looking at the games. I feel like if you're watching this young man, you will know that he's a young star in the making, I should say. He's just so good at reticle placement, having a steady shot, and putting down damage on the map. Even when joining a team like Native Gaming, when we know Talik is an absolute stud when it comes to both damage and KD, somehow Suppressed would still have almost as many kills, more assists, and even more damage than Talik on the map, which is not easy to do. No matter where Suppressed goes, he's a leading damage dealer because he's that big of an entry fragger. And I think entry fraggers are so important to the team. Just the way they think and the way they go about things and the raw skill that they bring to a team, I feel like that's so hard to replace. Because no matter what, I feel like I can get smarter. I can understand your system better. I can read your playbook left and right, go back to my basketball days, but it's much harder for me to just get that raw talent, So I feel like a lot of entry fraggers just have so much talent, and I think Suppressed is definitely one of those players. So watch out for Suppressed no matter where he goes, whether it be with Soul Snipe or not. I'm gonna go to Manny, who again, I'm gonna go back to that Soul Snipe interview, and I think he just kind of put it perfect. Manny, I'm not gonna lie to you, Manny is not the most consistent player in the league. You don't see that, but when he pops off, dude, when he pops off, his presence is felt not only in that game but the entire series. And because when he has that crazy 23-5 game, the team is like, oh shit, we gotta lock down Manny, we gotta focus on Manny. And once I focus on him, the rest of his team just tend to shine because he demands so much attention, because you're literally scared of what he can do. He's so freaking good. And when those waves, man, when they hit high, they hit hard. And man, he's definitely one of my favorite players to watch, and not even just in competitive. I've got the chance to watch him, I believe, in twos in Halo 5, and more recently a big team battle tournament as well. This man literally just a Halo enjoyer, a Halo player, and he's damn good. And last but not least, we're going to talk about Taulik and what he should bring to the table, which is very simple. Knows everything on the map and doesn't die. Taulik has a very simple game plan. And if he has an entry fragger or players that play fast enough, he will play behind them, and he will literally just put up kills and put damage on the map. And Tools even talks about all the time that he's the IGL for the team, and one of the smartest players that we ultimately have in our league. Well, I think Taulik is going to be a huge asset to any team. I'm excited to see where he ends up going, because he's definitely another player that can bring tons of value to any roster. Again, very simple. Put up a lot of kills, and and you can even play fast when necessary if you're able to keep up with Native Gaming Red, I'm sure. But he's just that damn good. So watch out for Taulik. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, not last, I would say, because I was going to talk about Druck, and Druck definitely being that, just being the master of. I never saw Druck as, one of the best shots in the league, but I definitely saw Druck as one of the players that understood how to really maximize movement no matter what game that he plays, and how to use that movement to be aggressive and to make dynamic game-changing plays. And sometimes there'll be a player too where I was like, whoa, what the hell was that? But oftentimes he would make a player too, and he's like, wow, only Druck can do that. So excited to see where he goes, even though it may not be in the US, yeah, EU, Canada. I don't care. I just want to see more Druck. But yeah, guys, it's so weird to see Native Gaming splitting up. I said it before and I'll say it again. I feel like me and Native Gaming kind of came up a little bit together. I feel like they were doing it for longer, but towards that tail end of Halo 5 going into Halo Infinite, like that's when we got our names out there more. And so I feel like our journeys ran kind of parallel to each other. I almost feeling I was kind of a part of the family, and I just think there was such an easy team to root for. On top of that, I'm getting in my feelings. Why? But yeah, I feel like they always were the ultimate underdogs when going against the top teams in the league. And I'm always rooting for an underdog, and just like a team made up of best friends, sticking together through thick and thin, figuring it out, through the power of friendship. Something about that was just really cool. So either way, Native Gaming Red no longer to be together, and excited to see what happens in season 3 and ultimately end up going. Guys, that's your HCS report. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, whether you like this kind of content or not. Let me know if you think I'm a fat blubbering kid, and let me know what you think about this team splitting up and where you think some of these players might end up. Could SSG be a possibility? An entirely new team? Definitely let me know. All right, guys, peace out.